Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody can see me. Just let me know. Armando, happy birthday. 22 years old. Not bad. Not bad. Uh, yes. So, guys, let's start because we have a lot of stuff. I might be exceeding a little bit the 30 minutes. I apologize for that. We have a lot of information that I wanted to squeeze into one session. So let's go in. How to get the listing every time. What does it mean? How to get the listing? Basically, what to say, how to say, and so and so. Okay? And mainly it's about, by the way, everybody can see me and hear me? Yeah, wonderful. Okay. So basically what we talking about? We're talking about when we on the phone, when we get to the house, and when we sit down. There's three main tasks that we need to do. So the first one is on the phone, and hopefully we'll pass that one, and we'll go to the house. Uh, so let's talk about a few three main things. Okay. One, fact. Okay. And this is why we are doing this. The more listing we have, the more attractive we are to our other buyers and sellers, and it's obvious. Okay, it's good for our resume. We are out there. Everybody can see us, and I raise my case. Right? Everybody agree with that. The more listings we have, the more attractive we are. Second, okay, this is one of the biggest problems I see with real estate agents. They are trying to be customer service oriented instead of salespeople. So everything that you do, you have to remember, you gotta put the customer service aside and be a salespeople. Even though this is something that you are trying to assist them, trying to help them, giving them advice, you have to aim that answer towards selling them your services. Third one, that goes to that. If you are always acting as a salesperson, you will always have a strong idea what to say and how to say it. And that goes to the scripts that we are trying to teach you every day, all day. Okay? If you stick to the script, you're acting as a salesperson. Okay? Which basically, you ask a lot of questions, you listen, and this is how it gets you closer to the listing. Okay? So far, everybody got that? Okay, so let's start with the initial call. Gling gling, we call in the people, right? Sorry about that. We call in the people. So when we call a prospective, we spoke about it. You call in the prospect. You gotta listen. You got to listen to every detail. You have to take a piece of paper and you got to write down certain details. You have to write down the little details that they tell you. You have to remember and write down the little things that they tell you because for them it matters a lot. For you, maybe it does not matter, but you definitely want to have these details with you. Write it down and remember that and in front of you because it might come out in the conversation later on. If you bring it, it means that you pay attention to what they tell you. And if you later see them, you're going to bring it up. For example, let's say they talk during the conversation that they love dogs, or you hear the dog barking, and the way she talks or he talks to the dog, you understand that they really love their dogs. Some people treat the dogs like part of the family. So you write this down. You have to pay attention to these little details because once you go to that property, you have to prepare and show a lot of affection to the pet, whatever you like the pet or not. I mean, even if you hate cats, and some people hate cats, let's see if we have somebody else. Yes, one person I know, she despises cats. Okay? That person can say good morning to everybody. So even if you hate cats, you cannot say, she says, oh, this is a beautiful cat. Where did you find it? Oh, it's so beautiful, beautiful. And guys, if you need to pet that cat, you will pet that cat, okay? Because you heard in a conversation that these people love their cats, okay? Again, if they talk about an item in the home and they think it's unique. For example, some people think that their house is unique because they have a patio in the backyard. Some people think that the house is unique because they have the stairs coming different way, than different angles than the neighbors. For example, in track homes, you have various layouts. If some people think, then they tell you that the bedroom is downstairs instead of upstairs, you write it down because it's big deal for them. And you have to remember to make a big deal out of this. So if they tell you the bedroom is downstairs and then the neighbors, the bedroom is upstairs, and that's why their home is better, you have to remember that. Okay? You have to remember and use that information for the conversation later on. So remember, if you put an effort, you pay attention to the smallest details, that makes them feel much more comfortable with you. Period. Whatever I'm telling you right now, it's facts. Okay? It comes from whatever I told you so far, and whatever I'm going to tell you coming forward, it's psychology. Okay? And this is the idea. You have to use your salesperson technique and psychology. And whatever I'm telling you right now is psychology. So if you pay attention to the smallest details, you're going to make them feel much more comfortable, and that's going to make them feel that they're going to want to work with you. Period. Okay? Now, let's say you have the conversation, you have these questions, you have a good conversation. What do you do next? Do not get off the phone with the prospect until you give them an assignment. Sounds nice, huh? So let's talk about the assignment, okay? For example, let them know that you're sending them an email, and don't hang up the phone without getting their email, guys. You have to get their emails. So let them know that you're sending them an email with important information about you, yes, you follow up, okay? But then include a couple of things that you need them to send back before you meet, okay? And you tell them that this is what you're about to do. Now think about that. I'm giving you, you're the prospect, you guys that listen to me, you're the prospect, and I'm telling you, I'm going to send you an email, but I want you to send me back, if you like, 3 things that are most important for you in your house. The 3 things that you think that the house will sell better. So think about that. First of all, what happened? The assignment itself allows you to subconsciously take control over the transaction. Think about that. You give them an assignment, you engage suddenly in certain assignment, and subconsciously they start thinking about you. Okay? Then this is how you take control of the transaction. Okay? When you put somebody to work, it's somehow asserted your control while you're building trust. Okay? Because suddenly you're engaging in some mail conversations, and their mind is engaging about you. They're thinking about you. It's not that just move you aside because they spoke with somebody. There is a task coming after that. Questions so far? Okay. Now, before you hang up the phone, make sure that you tell them that they promise you not to list with someone else, even though somebody is willing to discount their fee, before they have a chance to sit down with you and you show them the marketing plan. It's very important. Tell them, and don't be shy to tell them, please promise me that you're not going to list this home with anybody else, even though they're going to discount their fee, unless you have a chance to show me that I show you your marketing plan. Okay? And the things I can do for your house. Now, think about what you just did. Okay? You squeeze a promise from them. Okay? So at this point, 99%, most of them will agree to this because, first of all, they don't have intention to list it with the first one who comes in unless he is a magician. And second, suddenly, because you squeeze a promise from them, even though they planned or not planned, you squeeze the promise, suddenly you have they have a moral obligation to hear you because they promised. Okay, everybody got that so far? You understand? Whatever I'm saying right now, it's not so much about sales techniques. It's about playing with the mind. Is that correct? Do you guys agree with me so far? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, so we did the initial call, and then we have an appointment, right? So we go to the house, and don't forget, when you go to the house, and we spoke about it so many times, you definitely have to be there a few minutes before. You go to the neighborhood, you tour the neighborhood, you see what's going on in the neighborhood, you register the information, and then 5 minutes before the time, knock on the door. Is that correct? Is that correct, guys? Great. What's going to happen if you're going to knock 5 minutes after the time? Who can write me? What's going to happen if we knock 5 minutes after the time? No trust. Very good. What else? Looks unprofessional. Wonderful. Guys, if you're going to knock 5 minutes after the time, everything I say right now is mute. Everything is meaningless because whatever you try to build, it's not going to work. Period. It's not going to work. Okay? So, we knocked them 5 minutes before. They opened the door. They were waiting for you. You gave them the assignment. All that time since the phone call and the time that you scheduled the appointment, all that time, they were thinking about you. Okay? Now, so what we have now? So you arrive at the house. Good morning, beautiful weather. You know, the old small talk. Then you have to pop the question. Okay? The question is, so for example, so who's going to show me this beautiful home? Right? Who's going to show me? So you're asking that. Why I'm asking that? Who's going to show me this beautiful home? Why is that? Anybody can tell me? Decision making. Very good. So maybe it's not like a big deal, but when you're asking this question, somebody will answer. Now, that somebody, okay, is the one that is going to be the decision maker. That somebody you might say, I will show you, or he or she will say, he will show you, or she will show you. But at that moment, the person who's going to jump and is going to say, yes, I'm going to show you, or who she's going to show you, is the decision maker in the house. Okay? And you have to focus all your aims to this person, of course, diplomatically, and you have to focus, and they're going to be the one who have to sold them to be your agent. Let's see. I thought you wanted to do the walkthrough by yourself first. No. Definitely not. Definitely not. I don't think somebody will let you do the walkthrough. You want to engage with them. You have to engage in conversations with them. You have to be charming. You have to be jolly. You have to be energetic. Who are you going to be? To yourself? No, you have to be with your homeowners. Okay? So, now, when you do the walkthrough, remember you took notes in the conversations that you had. The little things, remember, don't forget to pet the cat, right? And don't forget to say how much the dog is beautiful, very nice dog, well, while the dog is ugly and disgusting, but that's what it is. You have to do that. And also, for example, let's say that they told you about their patio. The moment you go to that patio, you say, oh, you were right. That patio is wonderful. You were right. Okay? Now, remember that. This is the little details they told you few days ago, and you remember. Think about the impact that you do on these people. Okay? He says, oh, there is a guy or girl that really paying attention to the little details. Okay? Now, another thing which is so important, another thing, it seems like I'm going to be good today. Oh, I'm doing well. Another thing which is very important, we either volunteer to give our opinion or give our input, or they are asking us to give our opinion or input. Okay? About the condition of the house, about the things that add or takes away from the value. You have to be very careful, okay? Because whatever you're going to say, they're going to hold it against you, okay? So for example, if they're going to ask you something about the waterfall, okay, in the backyard, what do you think, okay? Now, if your instinct will say, yeah, it's adding about $10,000-$15,000 to the price. They're going to hold you on that, okay? What you need to do is research. Tell us whatever you answer, okay? You say research, or we've seen situations. Don't ever put an opinion on yourself. Don't ever put something that you are the one who gave the input. Watch out from this guy. It's very important. Remember, research tells us the market trend is your best friend as an agent. Remember that. Don't fall into this trap because it's so convenient to fall into this trap. Okay, guys, we are moving to the sit down. Questions so far? Because I'm doing very good on time, so questions so far. Hello? No questions. Oh. No questions. Okay, the sit down. Now, the sit down, it's so important because this is when everything is being wrapped up. Okay? So, you have to frame the conversation and set the expectation. Think about what I just said. You have to frame the conversation. I know agents that come to these meetings and sit down for hours. Okay? You shouldn't. A listing presentation shouldn't take more than 15-30 minutes top, no more, because the last thing you want to do is to talk yourself to death, okay? Because then, unless you have mutual friends and you set aside the listing presentation and you talk about life and friends and hobbies and everything else, the listing presentation needs to take between 15 to 30 minutes, period. And you have to set the expectation. And what's the expectation? I'm here to convince you that I'm the best person for the job. Don't be shy to say that. It's okay, because if you're going to believe about that, they're going to believe about that. But if you don't believe, you cannot inspire them to believe about you. Did you understand what I just said? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, wonderful. So you have to frame the conversation and set the expectation, period. Okay? And remember what I said in the beginning. When you sit down, again, don't be customer service rep. You have to present your case. Okay? And your case is why you are the best agent for this job. And you have to come with a lot of confidence, a lot of energy, and get it. So because of that, don't ask them to let them know what they decide. You have to make sure that they tell you what they decide, that together it's the decision. What's that? Do we need to bring proof? Proof of what, Mitzi? You know, it's an excellent question, Mitzi. You know when they're going to know that you are the best? In that meeting. They're going to make a decision in that meeting that you are the best. Through the phone conversations, to the walkthrough, to the meeting. Because at that time that you are the best. And the best is a rational thing. It's best of what? If they're going to give you the listing, it means that you're the best. Best for them. It's not necessarily the guy or the girl that has the most listings, but then you are the best for them. Okay? And you are a living proof that you are the best because you're there and you did everything that I just told you, and you do the script and you do everything else. Okay? So remember, don't ask them to let you know. Okay? Don't put that to them. Don't do it. Okay? Because you don't want to be there. Okay? So instead, remember, I don't know how many of you ever walked to a Toyota dealer or any new car dealer, and you drove the car and you asked about the prices, and usually after you took the test drive, what this new car salesperson are asking you, okay? What is asking you? He's asking you what's going to take that you're going to drive off from the lot with this car. Is that correct? Everybody, is that correct? Exactly. You have to be there in that situation, okay? What's going to take that for me to get your listing today? So what you can ask, I mean, there's very many variations on a scale, but remember, you already built a relationship. Until that point, there's already built up a relationship. There is a build-up of a trust, build-up of many things in their mind that you might be the right one. Exactly. Relax, you're right. So what do you need to do? Start the conversation by saying, you sit down, coffee is there, cake is there, now everybody's sitting around the table. On a scale from 1 to 10, what has to happen today in order to leave you with no doubt that I'm the agent that you should hire? Okay? Simple. They will answer you on a scale from 1 to 10. And they will tell you. And then you listen also, and you know what to say and what to do at that point. Now, when you say all this, it's because you're taking control. You don't let them make a decision. You're taking control of the conversation, and you take control of their decision making. Because remember, the original intention may not necessarily was to give you right away, but to interview you and compare you with other agents that they might see or might knocking on the door. Okay? The question that I just said, reframe the intention and put again psychology, put intention again, put the seed. What is their intention? What is their intention right now? And their intention right now is to hire you. Okay? Don't compete on the price. Compete on the process. Okay? And you have to be very careful about that because everybody is going to start talking to you about, oh, he's going to give me for 1%, Redfin is going to give me for 1%. Don't compete on the price. You have to emphasize always on the process. Now, it could be that some sellers, it's not going to work. For them, it's all about the money. They don't care. They don't care about your marketing plan. They don't care about what you do. They don't care anything. For them, it's about the money. For them, it's about paying as least as possible. Nobody's perfect, okay? Nobody perfect, okay? So you will have to work on that. After you do everything that I tell you, you have to go after that. So everything that, by the way, I'm telling you, it's not 100% bulletproof, but researchers show that this is a winning combination. Okay, now let's move on. So if you're competing about the price, okay, think about what's going to happen. The amount of money that you are willing to lower your commission, somebody else might go down, okay, might go lower. So it's going to be a bidding war. You're going to go for 1.5, somebody go to 1.25, and the other one will go for 1, okay? So that's going to happen, okay? You have to come there with enough energy and enough confidence and enough tools to convince them that 0.5% here and 0.5% there, it's not an issue, okay? And let me give you an example of of the one thing that you can convince them. Before you go to that presentation, you want to come up with a profile. Okay, you do your homework. You know that before you go to the presentation. Everybody does a CMA, but let me give you another idea. You go to Facebook, and in the Facebook you can get a profile of the exact buyer that will look for this house. If you know that is next to a school, you know that these are parents with kids. If you know it's a retirement home, you know what kind of, you know it's $1 million home, you know that there's people with a certain income. So then you go to Facebook Ad Manager and you create a potential ad targeting that demographic criteria that you just know. Okay, so when you specify the demographic, Facebook shows you how many people meet your criteria. Okay, and will potentially see your ad. Think about that. Okay, so what happened when you do that? Okay, what happened? So first of all, when you show it to the seller, you tell them, guys, this is the research. I'm telling you that there are approximately X number of potential buyers that matching the exact profile of this house. I did my homework. I know exactly how many people are potential for your home. Okay, so you know how much we should list it for. I know who are the buyers. I know everything about your about your home. Okay, and I prepare it, and here's the ad it's going to look like, and I know what to do. Okay. Think about what you just did. Okay? Think about what you just did. You already laid a plan. So if you do that, they're more likely to hire you because you already did something. Okay? And it took you maybe 5-10 minutes to do it, but it's serious what you just did. Okay? They already feel that here it is. You're already targeting my house. Okay? Everybody got that? Okay. Last but not the least, you have to close. Okay? You're sitting there 15, 20, 25 minutes, half an hour. Okay? You've done your presentation, you spoke about the CMA, you've done about the great things you're going to do about their home. Then you have to close. Okay? You have to come with all the paperwork. Okay? You're not coming for afternoon coffee. Okay? You are coming to close a listing, period. Okay, so you have to be ready. You have to be ready with listing agreement, and you have to be ready with exclusion from the MLS. And why is that? Because they might come to you and say, oh, we're not ready to list, we need to do this, we need to do that. Not a problem. We're signing a listing agreement, and I'm doing your exclusion right now. It's not going to be on the air, and the relationship that we already built while I have this listing agreement, I will be able to assist you if you wish in anything that you want. Okay? And I can be, and my office can be here for assisting you. Okay? So be there with the paperwork, and always, always, always don't forget to come with the exclusion from the MLS. Always. Okay? I'm right on time. So proud of myself. But again, guys, you gotta close, okay? Don't let the conversation be loose. Don't let it open-end conversation. You frame the conversation, you say everything I just told you, but now it's time to wrap up. Mary, you know, there is when you get a listing, in 48 hours you have to put it on the MLS, okay? So if they're not ready, but you still want to get the listing, right? You got to get that signature on that piece of paper. You pull out that document, it's called exclusion from the multiple listings, and you make them sign this, okay? For 2 weeks, 3 weeks, until further notice, whatever it is, okay? You build the confidence, it's no problem. No problem, okay? The exclusion can be valid for eternity. It depends on the seller. Okay. Sometimes when you have off the market property, you put an exclusion from the MLS for eternity. Okay. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Hopefully all of you took notes and remember the things I said. And guys, if you go out there and do exactly what I told you, you be on the phone, do exactly what I told you, the chances you get these listings are much higher. Trust me on that, okay? I didn't invent that. This has come from thousands of agents um, that have done the same thing. Okay, Mitzi, you can have actually a recording, which I remember to record this conversation, this presentation today. So talk to Erin and she can send you that recording. Okay? Very good. Beautiful Friday, everybody. Enjoy yourself. Don't forget to do a lot of prospecting.